Hello, it's good to see you all. My name is Prita Kemal Ghani. I'm the CEO and founder of the London School of Public Relations, Jakarta. I'm very honored and privileged to be able to have a chance to speaking on this occasion's book discussion, Women in Public Relations. So women in PR is one of my favorite topics as I'm practicing public relations in a very young age up to now in my day-to-day life as a CEO, as a leader. I'm using public relation technique to help me have done my job. And today, of course, I would like to say thank you to my very good friend, the senior lecturers of LSPR, Mr. Nico Watimena, PhD. And I also would like to greet Professor Anna Adi. Hello, Anna. Thank you so much for your kindness by finding the time to share your expertise with all of us here. And I'm also proud to know that actually the moderator for today is our LSPR very own alumni, Miss Amelia Anggraini MECom. And of course, this session will not be happen without the good work of people behind this team. So I would like to thank Mr. Rudy Sukandar, PhD, and Mr. Rendo Dani, PhD, as the head of Research Center, and Ibu Rani Chandra as head of Community Service, and Ibu Senia Angelika Wijayanto as the head of Publications. So thank you for all the good work and thank you for having me. And now we go to the topics and a book discussion today, why there are so many women in public relations. If you notice, from many communication schools in the world, occupied by almost 60 to 70% are women. If we also notice from the panelists of Miss Universe or any pageants, so around 6 or 7 of them are communications graduate or communication student. So women are very good, or they like public relations and communications. So here Olga Kazan, she make a research, then she declared that 2/3 of public relation professionals in the world are women, or 65% of PR professionals in the world are women. So why it's happened? Women is good in details. Woman likes nitty-gritty, and woman also multitasking. She can be a mother, she can be a manager, she can be a good friend, she can also be people who help you in the charity event, or she can be people who can also help you in the organization. So women are multitasking and they can do everything at the same time. This is a benefit for being a woman. And women are more social, and women like to make friends. Women like to go things together. Women like to share, right? And the other good things about women using combinations between the heart and mind during the time when we prepare a campaign, or when we prepare a crisis manual, or when we prepare decisions, is all come from good combinations, heart and mind. And women are more passionate and have more empathy, like a mother. So PR persons, especially when it's a woman, when work together with HR in terms of internal communication, in terms of dissemination of information to the employee, so women have more empathy, or use empathy and her passion to reach the audience. And women are easy to deal with. It doesn't mean woman is easy to bribe or easy to persuade, but woman has more flexibility than men. And woman has a listening skill. This is sometimes men very impatient when it comes to listening. And Yu Yu Chen said after her research, saying that it can be lonely for a man in public relations. Although it happened, but many men are more successful in PR job compared to women. Why did it happen? Because men can work longer hours. Men have the liberty to leave home without any burden thinking of what happened to the child, or maybe we have to prepare dinner, washing the clothes, or doing ironing, or cleaning the house. Which woman has to do all these things, and especially when the child is not well or have preparing for examination, that her concentration can be divided. And man has also liberty. Anytime can go to the site visit, no need to bring this and that, it can easily just go. And during the crisis time, men can go to the site or stay in the newsroom for like 24 hours or 48 hours while women need to go home. And also in the event, it is very difficult for women to stay up too late during the event, or when conducting the event, or managing the event, or attending the event. And of course, men has more liberty in lobbying and negotiations skill, because men is not it's not seen like a person can be taken for granted. Men can just meet the journalists having coffee together in the lobby or in the coffee shop, while for a woman public relation who is quite awkward or hesitant to do that. And men have a domination. Men like to become dominate in a certain decision or a meeting or a suggestion. So sometimes men have more voice than women. And man has a logic thinking, or sometimes can be to the point, so no hard feeling, or no need to have a pre-introduction. It can just be easily to the point. So that's why many men are more successful. And most of all, women, when it's already become senior in the position, also is become the age of to get married, and become the age of to have children and having family. That is divided the time and the concentration, while men have all this opportunity. And Elizabeth Krueger, so in her thesis, she wrote about public relations and gender. And she had a research for her thesis. She was saying that actually there is a proportional barriers between men and women in public relations. If it's a company want to do a promotion, whether a man in PR or woman in PR, actually the decisions is come more into a man, because that decision thinking of man is more flexible to go to the site in the working hours and something like that. And also in her research, she found that there is a double standard for women, meaning women doing the same job, the same position, but men have more income, or the salary is higher than women. And of course, women also found pressure of stereotypes. So sometimes when women get a good position or win a certain award or position, people think that because a woman has a closer relationship to the boss or to the client or something like that. And the leadership style, man is more tough and more rigid. So sometimes company need the people like that. And sometimes also in her research, she found that between a woman, a PR or woman, a co-worker, there is a competition or bullying or a jealousy that's to make other women as difficult to reach to the top. And of course, women and men, we have the optimism about the future in public relation. And why women put more in technical role in public relation rather than the managerial role. Mostly the managerial role are taken all by men, because sometimes we are thinking as a woman we are not good managers, because when we are sometimes needed, but when we also need it in the house and need it in the company, we're thinking more priority is what our need in the house first. And sometimes we are not tough enough in the corporate life, meanings that when it's come to a crisis, sometimes we more into so weak and become sensitive and so touched, and then sometimes also panic, and while men's more calm and use their rational. Sometimes women too emotional, because we sometimes when it's happened in the office, then we have problem, but also at home we have problem that is also affects our duty as a managers. And people thinks that being a woman in PR, just like the role of Carrie Bradshaw or Sarah Jessica Parker in The Sex and the City, where it's all glamorous words, in fashion, in friendship, in meeting people, in a lot of things, in food, a lot of things that people thinks that a public relation should be like that. And it's good and it's nice to become the center of attention, being woman in public relation, although mostly many of our work are behind the scene. But as Dalai Lama also recently, although there is a pro and contra about what he was saying, but he was saying that Dalai Lama successor would have been attractive if this is a female Dalai Lama. So sometimes it's nice or to see a woman in terms of a person who are warm personality and likable, always smile and be friendly to the people. But actually men and women have the equality in terms of become an accountable leader or an accountable managers in public relation. And men and women also have the same creativity and innovations, and men and women have the same ethical and manner. And of course men and women try hard to become accurate and perseverance in terms of their job. And men and women the same also have responsibility and professional. And the most important thing in public relations, men and women should be proud of the profession. I think this is all from me, and let's get back to Prof. Anna Adi, who will discuss about the book Woman in PR. So thank you so much for having me, and good luck for the whole session, and wish to see you again. Thank you. Bye.